We have the pleasure once again to be at the 2017 Pennsylvania Farm Show, and even more honored to be with the Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Russell Redding. And it's a great honor to be with you here again, Mr. Secretary. And tell me a little bit about the goings-on at this year's Farm Show. Why do you think it's unique? You've been in this position many times, actually, and leading the charge here, I'm sure, is exciting. But what's going on this year?
Yeah, first of all, welcome back. I mean, you've been here a couple times this week, and very much appreciate your support of the Farm Show and agriculture. You know, this is always a great week to celebrate agriculture, but gives us a chance to really connect with the public in ways that you have a hard time, sometimes almost impossible to do. They come here and enjoy the food, enjoy an event, get a chance to really touch and feel ag. That's important. It gives us a place to sort of work from for the rest of the year. But a great year, 101st year, right? So a new century. So we're doing some things on the Ag 101 stage to sort of talk about, you know, a little more in-depth around agriculture, some of the issues of Pennsylvania barns and some of the science and some of the contemporary issues.
Yeah, so I think agriculture, I don't know if it's fair to say, but it's hidden from some people. They go to the grocery store and they realize that there's great products and produce and farm-grown things to eat in the grocery store, but don't quite get it as much as many other people do, especially people from the area I'm from. I mean, we understand agriculture, but when you come to this event, it just blows me away every year, the number of people that are supporting this amazing event. And I think, yeah, the awareness building of agriculture in the state of Pennsylvania is the #1 component of the show every year.
It is, there's a couple of objectives here, but there's nothing more important than simply engagement with consumers, right? And they'll do things here, they'll taste things here, they'll talk to people here. So when we go out and we have issues in the community around agriculture, food system, you know, the larger public touches agriculture 3 times a day at the refrigerator door, right? So they're touching ag. Here's where they really get a chance to touch the real ag and really see who's feeding them and how does this stuff happen that they like, they buy, they enjoy, but there's some mystery in this process. This is what we try to do here, is to sort of say, this is who's in the business.
Sure. You know, last year, and it was many years ago, when my colleague Steve Bloom introduced a piece of legislation for Pennsylvania Preferred. And I just thought, wow, a simple idea, but sometimes simple ideas are so worthwhile, and I think it's great for Pennsylvanians to know that they're eating Pennsylvania-grown products. And then last year we talked a little bit about a veterans program to try and encourage veterans to get into agriculture, and I think it's a wonderful program. Again, great for consumers to know not only are they supporting Pennsylvanians, but Pennsylvania veterans and Pennsylvania agriculture and produced products. I think it's wonderful. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, and today is Military and Veteran Family Day here at the Farm Show. It's our 2nd year that we're doing this. You can look around this booth, and we're helping them out, 800,000 veterans in Pennsylvania, so a significant number of vets who've served our country, and certainly want to help them. So we brought the military and veteran community in a little closer to us for a couple of reasons. One is that as we look at the workforce of the future, these are folks with great skills, technology, sense of service, very disciplined, all of those qualities, almost the words we use in agriculture, right? So we brought them in and really working closer to them and with them. But we took the PA Preferred program that you've mentioned, and with that have put a Homegrown by Heroes, which is a special sort of group of people, but it's also a special program where you're in the PA Preferred, so it's Pennsylvania, but it's also a product produced by a veteran. And it's homegrown by Heroes. So you look at PA Preferred, look for the special seal, PA Preferred, and with that homegrown by Heroes. Amazing sort of stories of these folks who have come back into agriculture, and to have that recognized in the marketplace is a good thing for them as veterans. It's a great thing for agriculture, and even better for consumers.
I think it's consistent with the work that I've been trying to do in Harrisburg for the constituency that I represent, which at the end of the day becomes all Pennsylvanians, but I serve on the Agriculture Committee and fortunate enough to serve on the Veterans Committee also. So it really is, I think, a link that more people need to realize. And you hit the nail on the head when you talk about more skilled tradesmen. I mean, our economy needs something. We need more people involved in ag, and we need more people in the skilled trades. So I think the message is born and grown on the farm, and it needs to reach more Pennsylvanians. And again, the Farm Show is a great place to be doing that. If I can shift gears to some other local things right now, where I just opened up our newspaper the other day, the Pottsville Republican, and saw, and I know this, that we've got some great ag there, but really Christmas tree farming in Schuylkill County is really taking a front row seat at this year's farm show, and I saw the name Snyder and Sheeler, and those names are great, and they're among two people that are going on to the National Christmas Tree Association competition nationwide, and that's a big deal starting right here.
Yeah, we're just feet away from the Christmas tree the tree exhibit, right? And it's unique in that it's the only commodity in the farm show where the public votes. They choose the blue ribbon, right? It's the only place we do that. But a great story. I mean, the names, the families, great trees, great competitors, both in Pennsylvania, but they also can compete nationally. So very proud of them.
Yeah, Schuylkill County, Sheelers, Shadles, and Snyders, and Christmas tree growers that are right here, and they're taking home the ribbons and going further. So it's a great deal. Now, the other day I got the chance to talk to you. Well, first of all, we got to compete a little bit in a competition, which is fun every year, and it's for a scholarship program for kids. But then we got to speak after that, and we got to talk a little bit about more than avian flu, something that you have been talking about right now, and that's a One Health initiative to understand that if there's something going wrong health-wise on the farm, it affects people just as much as it does animals and livestock and everything else. Can you tell me a little bit more about your thoughts on One Health?
Yeah, so we're trying to sort of broaden this conversation. We talk about the animal health piece, and we do that well. We're very sort of skilled and prepared to do that. We've got all the right infrastructure to do it. The reality is that there are a lot of other influences to health, right? Environmental health, human health concerns. There are linkages between humans and animals. It's called zoonotic diseases. The avian influenza is one of the zoonotic diseases. Rabies, pretty common in the sense of disease. So we're trying to take the conversation a little broader, bring in the medical community, bring in the environmental community, tie some of the sort of the veterinarians and our traditional sort of stakeholders into that conversation a little broader way. And I think the avian influenza is a great example of that, because we have to sort of look pretty broad about how do we manage long term, how do you manage the health of the human population. There's also implications for how you manage the health of a animal population. So we're trying to build that out. A great concept that's gotten some interest around the world. We're trying to sort of build that right here in Pennsylvania. Since we've got a vet school with a medical school, we have a land grant with the medical school, you have all the right pieces and a great agriculture. Let's put those together.
Yeah, so that's great. So I guess the last thing we talked about just briefly, and again, it's been an honor to become friends with you and be partners in agriculture in Pennsylvania. And you talked about the fact, I think yesterday or the day before, when we chatted about Pennsylvania agriculture being driven by a national and looking forward to the national scene and who the Secretary of Agriculture will be when that appointment takes place. And there's one thing that we discussed, and that's agriculture really is a bipartisan effort, and I think it lines up very well, and you're looking forward to working on the national scene to make sure that Pennsylvania and at the federal level we work together to have what we need to continue to be a leader in production as far as worldwide food production goes.
Yeah, it's critical. I mean, I worked in agriculture all my life, and at the end of the day, the politic piece will take care of itself, right? This is about staying focused on what are the needs of agriculture, what are the needs of the business. The party stuff I just sort of put to the side, because at the end of the day, we've got to solve problems. And those problems are around food, they're around the environment, they're around economics. But I'm very fortunate to be in an industry where that has been part of the ethos, right? And really appreciate the community that we've been able to build over time because of that. What happens on the federal stage and what happens with the president-elect and some of the issues around the secretary for sure and the appointment will be important, but the issues around immigration, the issues of trade, which got a lot of discussion during the campaign, are two of the most important issues for agriculture. So we want to be engaged in that, thinking about that, and helping to lead that as well.
Great. Okay, we'll stay tuned. Thank you again. It's an honor, and I know you're busy here today, so
good
luck with the rest of the show.
Thanks for all your good work. Thank you.